Hey, hello, and welcome back to this week's hashtag Spill the Beans. If you've never seen me before, I'm Priolo. I'm your resident white-facing biracial multi-passionate musician, and I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. Spill the Beans is once a week chat where we talk about everything under the sun, from music to activism and back again. And guess what? Today, honey, we are talking about the arts and music, as you probably saw from the title, or I think on Instagram somewhere. It's like scrolling somewhere. Anyway, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can say hello. If you're on Instagram, I will be looking at comments occasionally down there. Okay. Did I share everything that needed to be shared? Oh, announcements. There is something coming back. If you never downloaded Clubhouse, now would be the ideal time. You can jump over into Liberation Conversation. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. That's over on Telegram. You can jump on my Lift Every Voice Substack, which all of these are linked in my bio. And if you are interested in a voice lesson, I'm not going to take any more piano students. I'm not doing it. But I have like 1.5 slots open starting in September for a voice student. So if you know someone, or you are someone, come on by. Okay, let's get to this question. And I totally know, y'all, it worked. Oh my Lanta. Okay, so someone in the Instagrammies, I put up every Thursday. I did it yesterday because today is Thursday and I'm doing things tomorrow. But you can answer these. So can I make this bigger? Can I make this bigger? And put it here. Oh my goodness, y'all. Could it be possible to have a more sustainable ecosystem for the arts to flourish healthily? I'm gonna give you all a second to answer that in the comments. I'm gonna give you all a second to decide what you decide. It'll be fine. We're learning new things as we go. Okay. Here's my answer. Yes. Everything is possible. We just have to make a decision to go towards it, right? And part of this, could it be possible to have a more sustainable ecosystem for the arts to flourish healthily? Yeah. And particularly in a world where capitalism and white supremacy are not influencing the arts in the way that they do currently. Of course this is possible. Christiana Smith, who I share a lot in Liberation Conversations, although you can't download her videos, so you do have to be on TikTok, but I try to summarize them. Christiana Smith calls herself a liberation and cultural worker who is fascinated with imagination, essentially. And she is constantly challenging the people in her audience and the people that see her videos to imagine beyond what we have now. And that is a conversation that I love having. What is beyond? What is beyond the way that the arts functions right now? What is beyond the way that capitalism functions right now? What is beyond the way that we communicate with each other right now? What is beyond? What does it look like? And I just shared this reel yesterday, but what does it look like if we don't audition and don't have juries? What does it look like if everybody had access to the same things in arts? What does it look like if they were funded not by grants and competition, but rather grassroots funding? What does it look like to have a supportive environment for all the people, a collaborative environment, if you will, instead of a competitive environment? What do those things look like? And what are steps that we can take today to make that happen in the future, right? That was the other question that Christiana Smith asked the other day that I saw. She said, what is your liberation seedling? What is your liberation seedling? And so if you're passionate about changing the paradigm in the arts, otherwise known as a paradigm, if you're passionate about changing the paradigm in the arts, of course it's possible. But what's the first step? What's the action that you're taking in order to get there? Who are you talking to? What people do you need to talk to? What type of people are they, right? It doesn't have to be a specific name. It doesn't have to be somebody that you know right now, but who are you having that conversation with? Yesterday, I had a wonderful coffee with a friend in town, and we were talking about, we were kind of roundabouting this and what can we really do? And people just have to make a living and da-da-da-da-da, and what can we do? And we came up with something that actually might not be the heaviest lift, but might make a dent, right? I'll share one more thing and then we'll go. Of course it is possible. Last week, we listened to Stacey Abrams' new podcast, Assembly Required. I didn't really like today's episode, I'm not going to lie. Might be because I'm a little DNC'd out. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, last week's episode, she was talking about problems, and she was talking about the way that we can fix problems, right? And once you find a problem, find the small problem and fix the problems that you can fix. Hello, right? That's all we have to do. So again, like, find your little problem. Find the problem in your paradigm, in your world, that you can fix. I've asked a lot of questions, but could it be possible? Yes, everything's possible. And when we believe that, as we keep going down that journey of believing that anything is possible, anything that we put our minds to, anything that we dream together, anything that we imagine together, anything that is better, anything is possible. And those of us that have lived, hi, you and me watching this, right? If you're not a robot, any of us that have lived know that we have lived through unprecedented times. And we know that we looked at a lot of those times and we said, is that possible? Is it possible that this happened? Is it possible? Is it possible that Israel bombed Palestine? Is it possible that the two towers went down? Is it possible that a man kneeled on another man's neck for 9 minutes? It's possible. If the negative is possible, then the positive is possible. So of course it's possible. What are the steps? What are the steps? I invite you to put steps in the comments. What do you think? And let's continue this conversation over in Liberation Conversations on Telegram, where I'm just facilitating conversations. I'm just throwing things like Christiana Smith. I'm throwing videos. I'm throwing Tim Waltz. I'm throwing, or Walls, however you want to say it, y'all. I think it's Walls, according to him. But according to some of it, it's Waltz. Okay. Come on over. Political Heart Matters. Oprah talked about that last night. And I'm going on, and we're almost at 7 minutes, so this is a long one. Continue to be anti-racist. Be safe. Wear a mask. Make good trouble. Do good work. I love y'all hardcore. And I'll see you next week. Toodles.